It's time for more King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. It's been, I want to say about a month and a half, 2 months? Maybe longer than that even, since the last King Arthur stream. So I feel like I've forgotten a lot of what happens in this game. The only thing I really remember that we did last time, let me load my save state. There it is. The only thing I really remember from last time is we did this puzzle. Yeah, exactly, this one. What? Wait, I thought... Yeah, we'd done the puzzle. We had to find ourselves a little route through this area. And then at the end we didn't get anything. So, instead of doing that, I guess we'll continue with the other journey we were on. But first let me take a mental note of exactly where on the map we are at the moment. Let's say thinnest pass across from the mountains. That will do. The other journey we were on is that we had to find the 4 elemental keys. And we have 2 of them right here. The water elemental key and the earth elemental key. Which means we need fire and air. Now, I do believe that somewhere on the map there is a volcano, if I remember correctly. It's all the way up here. I don't think the game will let us go up there yet. Maybe... I guess we can check the rest of the mountainous terrain. I wouldn't know where the air key is either. Maybe it's in one of these clouds off, off the map, but... probably north. I guess the air key could be in the mountains as well, all things considered. So I guess we're just going to look around and vibe a little bit. See if we can find it. Wait, which keys did I say we need? Did I just get it? Did I just forget what the 4 elements are? Earth and water. Okay, so we need fire and air. Sorry if I said anything differently. Both of which can just be anywhere as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really worried that we are just as stuck as we were when we last left. Oh! Well, maybe not that stuck. I have a feeling that we might find the fire key somewhere around here, actually. But am I even damaging these? My friends are. I don't know if I'm doing damage. No, I still don't know. I don't know if I took care of them or if my friends did. Oh, why did that... Oh, why does that mute the game? That's so annoying. I just tabbed out for 1 second. Oh well. Probably pause as well. Oh, actually, I think... I think we may have found this area last stream as well, now that I think about it. I don't really remember the flames in isolation, but I do somehow remember finding flames and then not having any screen left after that. Only this ominous pillar or grove? I can't quite tell what's down there. But whatever it is, I don't want to see it, so that still blocks off. We'll just have to go and see where else we can find any kind of progress, really. I don't even care if it's the progress we need. Because we did find that little elf in its puzzle, even though I don't think that actually has anything to do with what we're supposed to do next, because we're looking for the elemental keys after all. It doesn't really have anything to do with an elf or a maze or a key. Well, a different kind of key. All the characters have their own keys as well, of course. I do believe we've been here before. Or at least we've encountered this tile set before, I think. There's still this one tree that is a bit suspicious. I do think we might have seen that before. I really shouldn't have gone on this long of a break, because now I don't remember any of the things we did. I have a vague memory of some of the things that happened, but nothing definitive. And now all of my party members are dying. That's no... Oh right, you can't leave unless you complete combat. Can't leave a screen. Okay, Tone's dead. That's great to hear. Breeze is dead too. That's wonderful. I guess we're going at it alone now. I wonder how much of a problem that is. Because your partners, despite everything, do take a fair bit of aggro away from you, so the game might be a lot more difficult without them. Wait, is this just the same place again? Oh, for heaven's sake. As if the map system in this game wasn't confusing enough. I don't like how sometimes the screen will scroll for a really long time before you have to transition to another one, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will just be a very certain length, because it just makes the tile-based map all the more confusing, I think. And I do believe that is where we found the air key the first time around. But maybe I'm misremembering, who knows. Oh, fairies. If I remember correctly, fairies are really tough, though. I'm a little scared to face them again, especially when I'm on my own. Okay, we're here now. Whoop. Oh. Uh-oh. Ah, there we go. I thought it was stuck. On top of everything else, I thought I was stuck. I do wonder what drove the developers of this game to make it so cryptic and difficult to find everything. Because, you know, there are a lot of games that were made more difficult, maybe, or more opaque than the developers ever intended to, just to ensure that kids wouldn't be able to beat the game in a single rental. But I feel like when you're contracted to make a licensed game based on a Saturday morning cartoon and it's not even a good one, you wouldn't even bother. You know? That's what I think. So either they really decided that this is a game they had to put in the extra work for, make it as difficult as possible, or they just made it really confusing and opaque by accident. And I don't know which of those two is more impressive. I really wish the game didn't tab out, or didn't go silent whenever you tab out. I have other things to worry about besides just the game, you know? Maybe we should just bite the bullet and visit Merlin, see if he has any hints for us. Oh. Don't remember ever seeing this, so this might be a hint. But again, my memory is really fuzzy, so maybe I have seen this before. Plus, I don't think this is a special area. Is this where the golems were? It seems vaguely familiar, but not really familiar enough. Ugh. Oh gee, that's a lot. That's a lot of elite knights. I really don't want to waste my my special attacks on the off chance that we come across a boss at some point, but I don't think that off chance is very big. I think even calling it an off chance is being too kind. I do love that your shield attack just sounds like a gunshot. The sheer weight of it all. Maybe this wouldn't feel so tedious if, I don't know, if you got experience or just like even health items or additional ammo for your shield weapon when you kill an enemy, but you don't get anything. They are just purely there to waste your time. Let me see if I can stop. Yeah, we go pause when inactive. There we go. Now I can tab out to my heart's content. Although really that just means that there's no reprieve from this game's dreadful music, so maybe that's worse. Maybe I should turn pause when inactive back on. If I remember correctly, there is a setting in the game that lets you turn off the music, which is a strange inclusion for a game of this era, but I do appreciate it, I must say. And I'm not even saying that to be glib, you know, as in me saying that the music is bad, so I'm glad I can turn it off. I just think it's a really nice option to have in general. And they were kind of ahead of their time with including something like that. Because it's trying to think about the timeline of options being a thing at all in video games. I think audio options really didn't start to become common probably until the PS2 era. I think even around the time of the PlayStation 1, it wasn't a given that a game would have sound options. You know, Mario 64 doesn't have any. I don't think any of the Crash Bandicoot... No, the Crash Bandicoot games do, actually. Maybe not the first one. No, I guess the first one doesn't. But 2 and 3 definitely do. Those are the only games where the menu is really etched into my memory. Zelda doesn't give you sound options. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, I mean. Kirby doesn't. Kirby might in the main menu, actually. Not anywhere else. I do love that it ends with the sound effect, almost as if the music is fading out. Kind of well done, actually. I do have to give them props for that. Pretty good. Oh, it takes me to the password screen. Okay. We're just going to teleport back to the castle. See if our good friend Merlin has some helpful words for us. The location of each key has something to do with its elements. Oh, that's just it? Oh no. I was hoping for a little bit more. Ah, jeez. I guess we'll take the same crew with us that we just had. Wait. Oh no, you always have Arthur, of course. Let's see. Actually, I don't remember what our crew was. I know we had Tone, I don't know who the other one was. We'll take Tone just because he really doesn't look anything like a knight. Obviously there is a lot of wiggle room here. I think this character looks more like a ninja for some reason. Maybe it's just because he has what's it called? Not a tonfa. The tiny hand daggers. Oh, I don't remember the name, but it looks like he has one on his chest, and that that just makes it look a bit like a ninja. But this just looks like a sci-fi Power Ranger style superhero. We'll take Trunk with us just because he's such a big lad. I forgot about his Roger Stone style head. Amazing. What a powerful physique. Still nothing in the throne room. Alright. Let's get going. Oh right, there's combat right outside of the castle. So annoying. Then I can't teleport. If you were a high school football team thrown into the past to succeed, the real King Arthur, you would simply dismantle the monarchy. True. That's very true, but I don't know if I don't know if they would be heard if they were to try to do that. I don't think they would gain much support. Or maybe they would. I don't know. Obviously, this is a game for children, so you're meant to think that King Arthur's a very heroic man, but maybe the reality is very different. Even within the realm of the in-story universe. House Curse, very bad. I think last time we played, I left on a very confused note. In fact, I believe the character literally told us something about a confused note, and the confusion has not yet been cleared up, so it's a struggle. We are struggling at the moment. Oh, Wobbly Python, thank you for the host. Oh, why isn't that showing up on the stream? I have notification turned on. Yeah, there's the follow. Huh. It's just not showing up the raid notification. But yeah, thank you very much. And hello everybody. I'm playing a very, very bad SNES game called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. As part of a challenge called the Cursed 50. You can use the command !Cursed 50 if you want to know more. But long story short, somebody challenged me to play this game and beat it without using a walkthrough, and if I can, I get $50. And I don't know, my chances are not looking great. This is the 5th session, and I'm less than halfway through at the moment, is what I've been made to understand. We've already been here, but there is a lot of fire, which does lead me to think, to presume, to speculate, that the fire key might be in here. So, may as well take a quick look around, even if I do believe that this castle was a very confusing one that I may get lost in. Actually, I don't know. I think if the key was anywhere, it probably would have been there since the start of the game, wouldn't it? This doesn't seem like the kind of game that suddenly makes collectibles pop up in an area you've already been in. So, I don't think this will be a very fruitful endeavor, but it's the only lead I have at the moment. Oh, that's not an exit somehow. I don't want to do it. We're leaving this castle. There's no way the key is here. For those who just came in, right now the goal that we have is we need to find 4 elemental keys. I already have 2. Oop. I have the earth key and the water key. So we need the fire and the sky key. And the only hint that we were given to help us on this quest is that we are looking that the keys are somewhere near their respective element. Oh, Ryudo, thank you so much for the raid too. Wow, lots of raids coming today, and still my freaking it's not showing me the little pop-up on my notification, but thank you very much. And hello everybody. Oh, you saw it? What? That's bizarre, because I have the stream preview right here, and it was not there for me. But okay, I won't belabor the issue. We are playing King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, a very bad SNES RPG. It's like an action Diablo, but really lame. I don't know what you would call this game. I guess an action adventure. It's a little bit like Zelda, so I guess it's an action adventure, and it's part of the Cursed 50 challenge. If you want to know more about that, use the exclamation mark Cursed 50 command, and it will tell you all you need to know. We are currently looking for 2 elemental keys, and the only hint we have to find them is the keys are somewhere near their element, which is not helpful. So I've just sort of been looking randomly around the map for them. What I want to do now is I want to return to a village that I came across fairly early on in the run. See if maybe someone has a hint or an item for me there. But I don't actually remember where it is. You love this challenge? I'm glad somebody does. I'm glad somebody does, because I don't. Oh, okay, we're back here. Well, we're here, we might as well pick up a few power orbs. Only 2? Wow. When did I start this playthrough? 3 months ago. But I've been working my way through it on and off, so this is only the 5th session. And Ryudo, if you really do like the concept so much, then I'm willing to pay it forward to you, give the challenge to you once I'm done, which will probably be another 3 to 1,500 months at the rate I'm going. Honestly, Smite made it sound to me like this game was completely inscrutable, but until now I have been making progress at a fairly steady rate. It was only at the end of the last session that I truly hit a brick wall and didn't know where to go anymore. Let's see, I'm all the way over here? Ah, jeez. I guess I could try... I guess I could go to the swamp. At least I know where the swamp is. As opposed to this village, it's sort of weird that there is a very clear indicator for the swamp on the map, but not for the village. I'm going completely the wrong way if I want to get there as well. Whoops. The famous Knight of the Round Table, Sir Trunk? No, you have to understand, there is a story behind this game, and it's very different from the traditional King Arthur myth. The game is based on the Saturday morning cartoon, and it follows roughly the same story. The story being that King Arthur and all of his Knights of the Round Table were captured, and in order to save him and his friends, his compatriots, Merlin summoned a group of late 20th century American football players back to the medieval times to help mount a rescue. And he picked this group of teenagers because one of them's called Arthur King. That's the one we're playing. Oh, I guess I can't talk to the blacksmith anymore. And all of his other friends are called things like Tone and Trunk and Brick. And there is also one other character called Sir Lancelot. I don't know if that's the real one or not. But you can have him in your party as well. Wait, I'm here again? Oh, I did walk through the fire. I didn't see it. They have a degree of attitude. I do think this is an 80s cartoon. If I said 90s earlier, I was wrong. This is a late 80s cartoon, I want to think. So this is not... We haven't quite reached the attitude era yet. This is not Lunatics Unleashed levels of attitude on display. I could be wrong about that late 80s too. I genuinely don't really know. But it's the SNES, so it could be. Honestly, my gaming, the way gaming history has fermented in my brain is rife with strange inaccuracies as far as the timeline goes. Because the way it works in my mind is the NES was the entirety of the 80s, which of course doesn't make sense, and then both the SNES and the PS1 era were the 90s, and then the PS2 is 2000s. That's correct, but there are grey areas and there is an overlap there that isn't fully covered by those definitions. And I think part of that is just a holdover of how I used to view... Oh no, we can't go here. How I used to view video games, because I grew up with a PlayStation 1, or in that era of gaming, but a lot of people around me had Super Nintendos. One of my friends had one. Two of my friends had some, one of them around my age, the other a year older. They both had Super Nintendos, and for some reason, I think maybe because the Super Nintendo was a 2D console and the PS1 was capable of 3D graphics, I thought the SNES was significantly older than the PlayStation 1. So I just figured there was a time when there was an SNES, and then for a really long time there were no video games, and then there was the PlayStation 1. Like, I thought the SNES was from my dad's era. So, I don't know. It's really funny to think about that now, just the idea that, you know, every once in a while society just takes a break from video games. Just do a couple years without video games. I guess that happened in the United States for a few years, but not really in Europe. You know, we never really had a big video game crash of any kind. We were still releasing Jet Set Willy sequels well into 1982. Ah, we've made it to the swamp, good. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice was 1992, okay. Lancelot's just Lance from the future like the others. Okay. Weird. I guess he just decided to claim the name Lancelot as a joke. Oh, Where's the house of that one swamp person? I don't remember. Ah, never mind, we found it. Please tell me you have something interesting to say. No? Nothing? Oh my god. No market force in the world is a match for dads and sheds with the C64. 3,000 pages of handwritten code. It's wild listening to old game development stories and how it was just 2 to 3 40-year-olds in their garage making video games. And then those games would go on to sell hundreds of thousands of copies. Truly an era gone by. That reminds me of there is a PC point-and-click adventure game from the mid-2000s. It's very infamous. It's infamously bad. It's called Limbo of the Lost, and it's infamous because it was pulled from shelves because it was full of plagiarized art assets from games like Enclave and Thief and Oblivion, I think, Painkiller, a few others. And very blatantly too, like the devs literally just took screenshots from those games and placed them into Limbo of the Lost as backgrounds. But you know, there is a lot of info hidden in corners of the internet about the development of that game, and apparently it was in development for a really long time, and the earliest version was made for the Commodore 64 and similar computers. Whoops. And it makes you wonder, could that game have been good if it had been developed at a time where 3 devs was a big enough team to make a competent video game? Presumably not, because Limbo of the Lost still has some of the most... Oh. Wait. Oh, that looks like the fire key, but I guess this is where we need the fire key, maybe? Hmm. But yeah, the puzzles in Limbo of the Lost are puzzles that feel like they were made by the emotionally deranged. There is one where a big tentacle monster pops up out of a well, and you have to defeat it by taking a nib out of a pen and stabbing it. Even though I believe at the same time you have a knife in your pocket, and you can't use that to finish the puzzle. Sorry, I was sort of went off on my own little moment there. Let's see what people in the chat have been talking about. Jim Bagley is talking about visual ports. We're tasked with porting the arcade games to ZX Spectrum. Had no access to game code and he just had to play the game over and over again to try to recreate it himself. Wow. That's king behavior, honestly. If you could do that, I have endless respect for you. Just being able to look at a game and slowly come to realize, oh, they're probably running this kind of equation here, and this is how they handle movement speeds and all of that. That seems like it would be the hardest thing to puzzle out, just the exact numbers that are being put to page. We're going to try to find that village again, because I just keep tracking through the same area over and over again, and that's not helping. Limbo of the Lost really is a bizarre game made by maniacs, and even though crimes were committed in the development of the game, it's still very dear to my heart, just because it's such a bizarre experience to play through. Someday we'll get Limbo of the Lost 2, I believe it. That cliffhanger at the end of the game is going to get paid off. And we don't get games like that anymore, unfortunately. The game development world has been so deeply consolidated that if a game of any level of significance comes out, like with a publisher with a marketing arc behind them, it's going to be competent at the very least. There are very few publishers left who are willing to post cringe on the level of Limbo of the Lost. The only company that really does it is Square Enix, who regularly seem to hire third-party studios to just make the worst games imaginable. As they did with the Balan Wonderland, the Quiet Man, and what was the last one? Left Alive. That's their Bad Games trilogy. Let's see. Hey Jordan, you have a question? Yeah, go right ahead and ask. Trust me, I have any reason to talk about something I will take. So by all means. I still need to find a third thing for this, I believe, as well. I don't remember what. What's with the duck noise when you attack someone? I don't quite know what you're talking about. Next time there is a fight, I will try to remember that question and see if I can find in the noise what you mean exactly. Charts and maps. Get out of my lives, warlords! Help! I don't think we'll be finding anything of significance in this village, I'm afraid. Yeah, Balan Wonderworld makes a certain amount of sense, as does Left Alive, because at least it was part of an existing franchise, even though the take they decided to have on that franchise was a bit wild. The Quiet Man's a really strange one, I think. This is the church we just went into. Left Alive is a game that I desperately wanted to be good. Because the hole that Metal Gear Solid left behind in my heart is of significant size. Oh, that's right, this town hates us. You remember when Front Mission Evolved was the worst Front Mission game? It can always be worse. It can always be worse. And they really tried to trick people into thinking Left Alive was another Metal Gear Solid game, because they either hired Shinkawa or someone who is capable of imitating their art style very well to do the cover art for Left Alive, and it's a really good cover too. But it very blatantly tries to be Metal Gear Solid. How long until the cell phone Front Mission game? I don't know. I don't know if Front Mission has fallen quite as far as Breath of Fire has. I believe that Breath of Fire game they made for cell phones did eventually get ported to PC in Japan, but I never really heard much about it. So I don't know if it was any good or not. You still remember being completely baffled when you came to the realization that Left Alive was in the Front Mission franchise? I think the idea itself is inspired. Having a game that is set in a franchise or in a world that's mostly centered around big mechs having big mech fights, and then instead telling a story about people on the ground level of that conflict. That's interesting. You can do a lot with that. So the game's just really undercooked, I think. I do still have a soft spot for it. I don't know why. There is a certain romance to the narrative that I do still appreciate, I think. Now we're back here again. Breath of Fire 6 was not good, and they axed him pretty quick. Oh, is this the duck noise you were talking about earlier? Was that? Was Hakata Trivia? Yeah. If this is what you meant, I think it's just because the enemies are of a silly variety. Oh, it's not? Okay. Dang. And I still don't know. Front Mission was always about people at the ground level of a big proxy war. I mean, specifically gameplay-wise. You know, the stories... I don't know much about Front Mission, admittedly, so I can't really... oh, birds! I can't really comment, but... It feels like an interesting direction to take the franchise in. Oh, God. Why can you access Stonehenge from so many different directions? I don't know if it will ever become relevant to the game itself. I believe that at some point there was a game in development. I don't know which studio it is. It might be Konami. It was a game in the... what's it called? Something with Crisis. The Disaster Report. I think that's what it's called, the Disaster Report series. They would make a game in that series that was about people trying to survive and escape in a town where Godzilla and Ultraman, and I believe the mechs from Neon Genesis Evangelion were fighting. I don't think that ever came out, but oh my god, that's one hell of a premise. Better premise than this game, that's for sure. And you know what? I'll say it. I would much rather be playing Left Alive, The Quiet Man, or Balan Wonderworld over this right now. This game makes my... That's a cursed 50 for you. Yeah. I think Balan Wonderworld could make for a decent cursed 50 game. Because it is very long. I've actually been thinking about what game I will afflict someone else with when my curse is done, and I haven't decided yet. Because you do need a very specific kind of game to be a good pick for the cursed 50. You need a game that's boring and inscrutable and really long. Ideally. You don't want it to be fun bad. You don't want it to be like a Sonic 06 type game. That's too much fun. There's too much fun to be had in Sonic 06, even if it's fun the developers never intended. I'm actually not sure where I am right now. I think I'm just close to the fire pit again. Unlimited Saga was a very good Cursed 50 game. Yeah, that was an incredible pick as well. That's absolutely true. I think Baroque, which was the previous game I played for the Cursed 50, this is my second go-round, was maybe not the best pick, because even though it was long and really boring, it was really interesting. There was a lot to like with and a lot to engage in that game. And maybe that's not deserved. It's kind of weird to me how much I'm struggling to find anything right now. Wait, have we seen these before? Baroque was too interesting, that's absolutely true. Even though you know, I played that game for about 20 to 30 hours, I don't remember exactly how long it took me. And there was not enough to engage with artistically for a 30-hour experience, but there was still plenty to engage with, and the same is not true for King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Oh yeah, there's this area as well. I still can't go up there. If it wasn't for the loading times, you would play Sonic 06 just to see new glitches break it. See, that's what I mean. Sonic 06, to put it in a very, very cynical and streamerly way, Sonic 06 is a game you can get a lot of content out of. There is a lot of moments where you can do your best angry video game nerd scream at the horrible things that are happening on screen, and that's fun. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice has nothing like that, and Cursed 50 games in general shouldn't have anything like that. Wait, have we been here before? This castle does not seem familiar. Oh wait, no, I think we have been here already. Let's see. Yeah, I do remember going through a maze like this at some point. This song may be my least favorite thing in the entire game. The way it constantly switches tempo makes me so upset. Just the endless 4-note arpeggio that keeps repeating but keeps changing tempo, it drives me up the wall. God. You could use this song to torture people, I think. It wouldn't take long for this to start driving you completely mad. Who are Trunk and Tone? You don't remember them from The Legend of King Arthur? Trunk and Tone are two high school football players, American football players. Because the story of this game is that King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table were kidnapped. And then Merlin got a bunch of high school football players from the present, teleported them back to medieval times to help save King Arthur. Oh, there's the door. And Trunk and Tone are two of them. Presumably not their real names. If I had to guess, those are their cool football player nicknames. Oh, for crying out loud. You question the choice of American football players over rugby players. Well, they're tougher, I think. Rugby is a slightly less just openly violent sport. More rules of engagement in general. At least as far as I understand. Football players, they are built tough. But they also do probably suffer from more ailments as a result. So that there is a balance that you have to decide. You have to make a decision about there. Why couldn't Merlin just teleport the kidnapped folks home? I don't know. I believe they've been kidnapped by a wizard, Morgana Le Fay. So she probably has some kind of strong keeping them there spell. That's exactly what it's called. And maybe Merlin has great control over time, but not over space. Although then again, these are American football players, so he had to teleport them from the United States to England anyway. Why doesn't he teleport King Arthur and the Knights from the Past to the now to do it? Because he's not that bright. I think that's the answer to that. I don't know how much of this playthrough you've seen, but Merlin doesn't come across as the most intelligent or likable individual. There is also some stuff about how all the protective equipment in American football encourages players to hit harder, which ends up putting the brain at greater risk. It's interesting you mentioned that. I was reading an article earlier this week about that Olympic runner, I believe, distance runner, who was barred from competing at the next Olympics because she smoked weed. She was caught with trace amounts of some kind of part of marijuana in her body. I don't know the exact details. And someone commented in response to that article that American football players are not allowed to take weed because I mean, obviously they're not allowed in general, but they would be banned from playing if they were found to have smoked it because it's considered a painkiller. So that would, in that sense, it would be a performance-enhancing drug. But at the top level of American football performance, like the actual league players, you take testosterone replacement therapy constantly, and that's basically expected. Like, you are on legal steroids at all times. And so I'm about to die to these butthole trees. And somehow that's okay, but smoking some of that sticky icky is not, which I think is ridiculous. That's my weed-related diatribe for today. And meanwhile, we still have no idea where to go. I kind of want to find the area with the cloud again. God, if I have any idea where it is. Just because we are still looking for the air key. And I figure if it's anywhere, it's probably there, unless that's where we found the water key. I probably should have looked at the last VOD in more detail before starting today's playthrough, because I'm just completely lost as to what to do next. Do I have a map? Yes, I do. Here it is. Make the most of it. See what you can do with it. Where's that? Where is that cloud? Do I have a useful map? No. No. There's a person selling maps in one of the villages, but they do not sell you a map. Britain looks a lot different for all you remember. What, you don't remember the desert wasteland that is northern Scotland? You don't remember any of this? You have the Ben Nevis, and then you have you have the Scottish steppes. And this is Hadrian's Wall, you know, completely horizontal, along the equator, just like it is in real life. Let's see what I miss. Also the fact that some female Namibian runners are being barred from the Olympics because they have naturally higher levels of testosterone and don't want to take hormone therapy. I read about that too, and that is also ridiculous. Because at that point, you are just putting an upper limit on the amount of testosterone that can be in a female athlete's body, which, I mean, obviously testosterone doesn't equate one-to-one to performance, but it is basically just putting a hard limit on the performance levels that you are allowed to have before they tell you no, you can't compete, which is silly. It makes no sense. Real ones watch the Winter Olympics anyway. That's where the real fun happens. I don't know what to do. We have been walking around for over an hour, and I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do. Well, I know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know where I'm supposed to do it. Which, same difference, really. I guess we could try going back to that puzzle, which was around here, I do believe. There's a funny little man that springs up out of the ground somewhere around here. He takes us to the puzzle. Wait, this is where we just were. Oh, did I misremember? Oh no, it was here. Yeah, it was here. Oh yeah, it was across from the mountains, that's right. That's right. Get really into curling every Winter Olympics and then forget about it again afterwards. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm that way with bobsledding. I love watching bobsledding, but I never really get around to it. Only during the Winter Olympics, and even then I miss it all the time anyway. Now we're in this open field again, which seems like it could be significant, and which makes me think maybe I should take a closer look at it, but it could also just mean that something significant happened there during a previous playthrough and I just forgot. Or during a previous session, I mean. You mean this sound? This is that's just the sound of metal hitting metal. It's like it's supposed to be a clank. Ding! Something like that. So here's the test. This is where we ended the previous stream, and the elf at the start, he says. I forgot exactly what he says, but he said something about a confused note, which leads me to believe that it has something to do with tone. You know, confused note is an anagram for tone. So I figured tone has to be here and get something, but you get to the end with tone and nothing happens. So I just don't know. Maybe you need something else first. But if you do, then why would they let you in there? I don't know. It sounds like a duck noise. I really don't think it does. I don't think that sounds like a duck noise. Or maybe it does, and I can't hear that because my mind has already fully processed it and saved it as a metal clanking noise, but I don't know. I will say, I really just cannot believe that the fire key is not here. That's still the strangest thing to me. It's a single screen, and it has fire enemies on it, but there's no fire key. How it... It's maybe the biggest red herring in video game history. Do not understand. I can't go up there. And there's no way that there's just a chance for these enemies to drop the fire key, right? That would be weird. Because nothing else in the game works like that, but I'm almost inclined to believe that that is what's going on here. Why does this game have loading times? That is something I'm still incapable of dealing with. SNES game with loading times. I think I've mentioned this in a previous playthrough, or in a previous session as well, but why isn't this the key? How is this not the key? Wait. Or is it the key and I already put it down? Oh! I probably should have considered that. Wait! Do I have all the keys? No, I'm still missing one, I guess. Even though... Yeah. Oh, so I had already put the fire key in there. My bad. So... That means we need the air key, I believe. Oh, give me 1 second, folks. I've already gone through my 1 litre water bottle in the past hour, so I'm gonna fill that up real quick. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. My water bottle's full. Let's see. No, you didn't miss anything. I was just, I was taking a quick break. Stretching my legs, getting some water. Well, at least we did make a little bit of progress. I believe you weren't here, but I came to the realization that the cellar entrance that already had the fire key on it was where the fire key was. That was not just an indicator. I'd already placed it there previously, and then I put the other 2 keys there as well. Now we just need 1 more, which is the air key. And I do feel fairly confident in saying that the air key is probably where that floating island is, but I don't remember where that is. And I don't think it shows on the map. You'd think it would. That's a pretty significant landmark, but it does not. I don't know why I'm in the swamp right now. Just looking around. Oh, this is a different house. Is it? This is not the same house we visited earlier, is it? Can we even get into this one? Oh, there we go. Probably not important either, but let's give it a shot.
What is this? A key in my house again? Uninvited. Hammer so keep you out as keep.
No, we entered this castle with your invaluable help. Defeated Hammer. We came now asking for your help again.
Always asking, never giving. Why should Blaze help you?
What we are trying to give to you is the restoration of peace in the kingdom. We are vanquishing the warlords of Vulcan's Forge and will dispatch the evil Morgana once and for all.
Your words are true. That Blaze cannot deny. Blaze will help you if you make him a promise.
What's the promise? You're on your way... Oh.
You're on your way to Crowdhorn Village, yes? Yes. Promise that you will visit the baker and bring the Staff of Life.
Okay, I promise. There is a large object northeast of here that is casting a shadow on the floor of the meadow. Once you get up to the object that is casting the shadow.
Yes, Blaze knows this place. It's a magical island in a sea of air. What kind of fish swims through the air? None, but birds can go to this place. I've enough of the bird protein I made earlier to change you into a bird one last time.
I can barely even make out any of this text. We'll just... Wait, is this actually the way to get onto that cloud? Oh, sick. We did it. Now we just have to find the hatch again. That shouldn't be too bad, since... Actually, let me first teleport back to the castle, just to get my HP back. I do believe the hatch is near where the elf is, so finding it again shouldn't be too big of a problem. Since I assume that the hatch will lead into another dungeon, I'm taking 2 friends with me that don't have their key yet. Alright. So we need to go here. The closest thing is here. Portrait of the Wise and Old Man is the single best thing in the game. The character portraits are... Oh, this is not where I thought this would lead us. The character portraits are really nice. I agree on that. Oh, I did not need to be reminded of the teleporter maze. Did not need that memory dredged up. I had actually forgotten all about the teleporter maze, and now it's back. How many... Well, I have no attack gems. Gonna take another quick teleport back to the start. So here's the thing. I don't know how many of you have been here for the rest of this playthrough.
To the stage of history.
Zalaxis, thank you so much for the resub. I was gonna say re-month. Thank you very much for the resub. And yes, we are still playing we're playing King Arthur again. Unfortunately, I realised I couldn't make the fans wait any longer, you know. It's time we got back into it. Now I don't know. Oh, and Empress of Myth, thank you very much for the follow. I'm glad to see you're enjoying the stream. What I was saying before the sub message came in is I don't know how many of you are here for the first time, but the thing is, to beat most of the bosses, you need to hit them with projectiles. And the only way to use a projectile is with these power orbs. They are the currency, the mana of the projectile, if you will. And as far as I know, this is the only place where it appears. So every time you're getting ready to go into a dungeon and fight a boss... I'm stuck inside my characters now. Or did I just tab out? Oh, thank God I tabbed out. Okay. Every time you're getting ready to face the boss, you have to go back here and grind. We'll probably get, say, 25? 25 should be plenty. Maybe 30. Wait. Okay, I only have 9? Ah, jeez. You fell asleep and missed football. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. Actual progress occurred in the last, I want to say, about 6 minutes of the stream. Before that, we wandered around the map for a full hour, not achieving anything. So... You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. It's very relatable. That's the King Arthur experience. The King Arthur experience is a universal human experience, I think. We've all been there, and if you haven't, then it's just yet to happen, and someday you will. Someday you will experience it. Oh! Oh, okay. I didn't realize I'd actually crossed the screen. I thought the game crashed. How many is that? 24? We'll do one more run, back and forth, and then we'll head for the dungeon. If this turns out to not be an actual dungeon, I'm going to feel really embarrassed. Alright. Thank God we did find out about teleporting at some point. I think that was the previous stream, but I'm not sure. But it's definitely a huge time saver. Not just in terms of crossing the map, but also in terms of finding where I need to go. Because paths through the overworld are nowhere near as straightforward as you might want them to be. Okay, where's the hatch? It's around here somewhere, right? Okay, how is this a duck noise? I guess if I squint my ears, this sort of sounds like a duck noise, but I don't know. I'm not fully convinced of the duckishness of that sound. Oh god, did I misremember where the hatch is? This is where the firemen are, isn't it? Yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. Maybe it's around the bend here? God, I sure hope so. Ah, here we go. Let's see. The air key in there. There we go. Easy does it. Ah, of course it's another castle. Well, so let's go find the boss. Oh god, there's so many enemies. Why? I really wish I knew of a place to grind healing items. I know there is one because I have gotten a chance to do it here and there, but I do not remember for the life of me where they were. I think maybe somewhere near the southwest of the map. There may be healing items, but there really is only one spot. What the heck?
Arthur, beyond this door lies Lucan. To be sure we are as strong as possible, we must have all the keys we can get. I've heard rumours that one key is still lost somewhere within the land you have already travelled. Arthur, I believe this rumour to be true. I think you should find this key before continuing. Oh no!
Can I teleport out of here? Okay, good. Oh no, I can't. To answer your question, no, I don't think Squaresoft was inspired by this cartoon when they made Final Fantasy X. I don't even know what would bring you to say such a thing. Oh, by the way, if you enter a castle through a hatch, you cannot exit through that same hatch. You have to find the front exit, which I hope is this. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, and it's by the burning tree. Alright, let's see where on the map this is. Make a mental note. Oh, it's not going to show me? That's dope. I know we've been here multiple times, but that does not mean that I have any idea where this is. Okay. Middle of the map, 1 square above the mountain. Alright. Blitzball player brought together to another world to sort of save it. Oh, okay, now I see what you're saying. Maybe. Maybe Final Fantasy is a spiritual successor, or Final Fantasy X is a spiritual successor to King Arthur.
You must find Lucan and defeat him to gain the Key of Truth. Hurry, time is short.
Okay, so we need to find one more key, and what we have left to do is we have the puzzle, which is presumably for Tone's key, but again, I don't know. That's all conjecture. And we have the thing in the church in the village that still needs fixing. So I guess we'll do that first, since it's the only thing that I'm sure we still need to do. So yeah, let's go do that and hope for the best. Oh, by the way, just as a side note, Dr. Dubs, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, I have added you to a Streamlabs whitelist for posting links. So if you ever end up drawing anything again for the stream, you can post it without being auto-probated by the Streamlabs moderator. No pressure, of course, you know. Don't feel obligated to draw anything if you don't want to, but you don't have to ask me for permission again. And Streamlabs does also let you whitelist websites, but I don't know if let's say for example you whitelist Imager, I think it's Imgur, I don't know. I don't know if that whitelists all of the links on the website or just the specific link that you put in, so and I don't know, I don't want to mess with that too much. No longer need to ask for permission, only forgiveness. It's okay, I will, as long as there's some fun facial expressions, I will always forgive. Okay, I guess none of those items are the items we need for this goblet. I believe this is a goblet, and I think this was an emerald? And I don't remember what the last thing we needed was. And we talked to everybody in the village, so I don't think anybody really tells us. I think someone told us at some point, but I don't remember what it was that they did tell us. I guess we'll do a sweep around the village, just the areas that are nearby. Because I do feel if there is any area that that's been underexplored so far, it's this one. Even if seemingly every angle seems to lead to Stonehenge from around here, there are still ones that don't. So take another look at those. I watched the new Saw movie the other day. Well, it's not technically a new Saw movie. It's in the franchise, but it's not part of the main timeline, I guess. It's called Spiral from the Book of Saw, I believe, and it was really bad. As one of the worst films I've seen in a long time. I feel like at some point, the knowledge that what makes the Saw films interesting is the moral quandary of the Jigsaw killer was lost. So every Saw film since the 7th has just kind of been about someone who kills using the traps, and that's it. And of course, Jigsaw is a murderer. I think if you try to argue the semantics of that, you've got the wrong end of the stick. But the reason the films were ever interesting, if they were at all, of course it's in the eye of the beholder, is because there was a character that had this very specific moral ethos, and now the characters don't have that anymore. So in the newest film, the murderer turns out to just be some bloke who is angry at police officers because one of them killed his dad. Which, as far as motivations go, that's pretty valid, but it doesn't quite have the je ne sais quoi you need to be a good Jigsaw, I guess. See, those are bird noises. That's a bird noise you heard right there. This leads to Stonehenge again. Yeah. It's too bad there's some actual themes involved in the previous films. There's even conflict between Jigsaw's philosophy and other killers in the movies. Exactly. That's one of the drawing powers of those films. For a lot of people, it is just the effects work and the blood and all that. But yeah, it's just that it really lost something, and the twist is really obvious this time around. And usually, I'm not one to say that a twist being obvious is necessarily bad, but in this case, it is, because when a twist hinges on someone being a super genius, and then their plans are really transparent and easy to see through, then it does kind of become a bit of a problem. And that was the case in in Spiral. Because there is one character who dies in a trap, and you never see their actual face in the trap. And at that point, I thought, okay, so it's him, right? That's the killer, and I was correct. But Samuel L. Jackson was in it, and he did a good job. So really, it's impossible to say if the film was good or not. Saw really lost the plot after the 7th one, isn't a take you expected to hear today. I mean, I know I am one of the few Saw defenders online, but I appreciate the attempt at weaving a complex narrative through so many films. Most films that go on for such a long sequence of sequels just ends up fully serialized at some point, and Saw didn't. They try to actively continue the ongoing story throughout Saw 1 through 6. And Saw 7 kind of felt like a really unnecessary epilogue, and Jigsaw and Spiral I just feel like side stories that don't need to exist at all. Where is that cliffside? Oh, here we go. I kind of want to explore this area again. because it seems so important. But I don't think I've ever really found anything here. I found these flowers, but I don't know what they do. And there's multiple of them here, so I don't think they are that important. And I don't know what they do. But it does look like this area is empty too. You don't enjoy the Saw movies very much overall, but you appreciate parts of them. For me, you know, I like good gore effects, but I don't like the trap scenes in Saw all that much because they are focused so much on the pain and the misery of the subject, and that's where you lose me on that sort of thing. You know, it really does have to be. I have to be able to focus on the effect, the way the person dies itself, and maybe that is just as bad as making a scene that focuses so much on suffering, because then what I'm saying is, well, I like it when people die, I just don't like to see them be hurt, and that may be a little bit weird too. But the thing is that Saw attempts to weave such a complicated narrative that it activates my full autism. Stories like that put in so much like excruciating and unnecessary detail, they get my mind going. And I didn't mean that as an insult, by the way, just in case someone got the wrong impression. I am on the spectrum, and I say that when I say the film activates my full autism, I say that in earnest, even if it's a little glib, of course. God, there really is nothing here, is there? Except for enemies that respawn indefinitely for some reason. Why did Merlin prevent you from continuing? You missed the specifics? What he said was that we need all the keys from the part of the map that is accessible to us at the moment, and he said we needed one more. So, yeah. And that led me to believe that I have to do this next, because it's the only thing I haven't done yet that I have found. Is doing the thing in the church that I need 3 items for. But I don't remember what the third item I needed was. And I also have no idea where it could be. Oh. And that's the worst part. It could be anywhere. Much like Stonehenge. Well, Stonehenge is everywhere, it feels like, rather than anywhere. As I already tried all of the items in my inventory on the altar in the church, and none of them were the correct ones. Stonehenge can sneak up on you. You never know when it might happen. You know, it snuck up on the English all those years ago. It could happen to you too. Wasn't the 3 items for the third dungeon? No, let me show you. If I can even find my way back to the village. Oh no, wait, that leads back to Stonehenge. Where the demons dwell, where the banshee lives, and they do live well. Stonehenge, where a man is a man, and the... Oh, does this also lead to Stonehenge? No, okay, good. Where is the village? Oh, it's here, okay. I didn't mean to get into this room. Let me just find the church again. No. Where's the church? Actually, I don't know if I checked this house when we came by here earlier. Oh no, I did. I did check. Charts and maps. Which unfortunately refuses to sell me charts or maps, but such is life. Where is the church? Why can't I find it? Is it this? No. This is the church. Okay. Built from the same materials as every other building for some reason. See this is what I'm talking about. I need one more item, and I don't remember what the third item was. Map seller, I need your strongest maps.
You cannot handle my strongest maps, King Arthur.
I'd like to think I could. I've dealt with some powerful maps in my day. The one in Deadly Premonition 1, that's a strong map. That's a map you need to master if you want to play that game. Are these healing items? Oh, I opened the wrong menu. Healing herb 6. These are healing items that seemingly reappear when you exit the menu? That's kinda gnarly, actually. And also really good to know. That's going to be really helpful for future dungeons. We cooking. We're gonna make a soup consisting entirely of herbs. This lady doesn't say anything important, does she?
Stone with you.
I do need to get around to adding that third emote to the channel. So I feel, even though the emote slot never disappears, I feel bad if all the people that subbed and got given gift subs never got a chance to use the third emote. You bet going into the menu like that can respawn enemies in places too. It's very possible that would happen, but thankfully you cannot go into the menu while you're in combat. You can only pause. Go on, turn the music off for a second. I can't take it anymore. Feels so nice. You know, I have a busy mind. I think a lot, and I think quickly, and my mind sort of take on a life of their own. I make strange mental connections all the time, and it's exhausting. My mind exhausts myself. And when I was younger, sometimes what I would do is after an evening of watching TV shows, of playing video games, reading books, what have you, and thinking a lot while doing that, I would come downstairs and I would find my mother sitting on the couch, and it would be entirely quiet. And for a brief moment, I would feel a kind of mental peace that I rarely feel when I'm in my own space. And turning off the music in King Arthur and the Knights of Justice briefly made me feel just like that. What a nightmare of a soundtrack. This is Stonehenge, right? Oh, it's not. Ugh. That's Stonehenge. Just hearing that sound effect without the added music feels really strange. What if I shoot Stonehenge? No, it doesn't do anything. It's like a white noise you turn on and disappearing. Exactly. That's a really apt comparison, I think. Oh god, look at this ruby V. Wait, is it a ruby? What? I absent-mindedly said that, and I don't know if that's actually what I'm looking for even. Did I just say that, or is that a memory of a previous session that I just dredged up? I don't know. Don't know. This is the cliffside again. Give me the flowers. What do you think these flowers are good for? I don't know. Sea flowers. They don't have a number next to them, which is strange. I think. Over here. You could look at a walkthrough and let you know if the third item you're looking for is. That is not permitted, I'm afraid. There is no back seating is allowed during the Cursed 50. Eventually, if I'm really truly stuck, like if I spend multiple sessions making zero progress, then you can ask the person who cursed you for mercy. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we are approaching it. And also, I'm not even 100% sure that I am actually looking for an item at the moment. I think I am. I think I need to do this next, but it's very possible that the game is actually expecting something else from me that I just don't know. Does Merlin have anything to say? Merlin just says something to the effect of, you need to find one more key. I don't remember exactly, but very unhelpful. At the start of the playthrough, Merlin was really cryptic, and then there was a brief period where he was actually saying helpful stuff every now and again. That's in the past, fortunately. I think I already went down this once, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, I've already been here before. Can I just leave? Or... No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Yeah, everything is off limits, I'm afraid. There was a brief period where the intern wrote Merlin's lines. Someone took mercy on the player, but they were swiftly removed. One renegade gentle spirit. Now we have to find the exit to this castle as well. Thank God. That didn't take so long, even though we are now really far removed from where we started, I think. Oh no, I do think that hatch is around here somewhere. This is not too far away from the village, actually. Well, that's a small blessing. Even if we do get back to the village, I still just don't know. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I feel like the item that I'm looking for could just be anywhere, and I'm just missing it. It's just one. There's probably one little tile on the map somewhere that I've accidentally managed to walk around every single time, staying just out of vision. Just the idea that that's possible is terrifying to me. This leads us back to the hatch again, and then this leads back out to this area. Alright. Well, none of that's where we need to be either, so not a great help. I think it might be time to turn the music back on. Even though I would prefer to have it off. I'm getting a little sleepy, a little drowsy. Which I like to be. It's a good feeling, but I don't think it. I don't think I'm the best host when I'm sleepy. Oh, that's Stonehenge. This is like when you can't find the place necessary to progress in Zelda games, but 100 times worse. You're right, this is 100 times worse than Zelda. I agree entirely. Just a doo-doo Zelda game. I think that if they had just made a Zelda game in a more straightforward manner, you know, none of this weird key stuff, had a better map. Those are the only two things I can think of. That's the one thing setting this apart from Zelda. I think if they had just improved on that, the game could have been okay. The combat is still nowhere near as good as a Zelda game, but I don't know. Zelda, 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 Zelda. It's kind of messed up if you think about it that for a moment this village was blocked off by the magic of I guess Morgana, the Fae, and then when you get there, they sound really appreciative of her, even though They probably locked her in here.
Morgana is my queen. I will serve no other.
I guess you don't have the gem I need either, do you? Ugh. You like how clearly there is a stamina thing where you do more damage as you swing when the bar is full, but the stun lock is so much more useful. It's irrelevant. I do believe that is how the system functions, because there is no stamina in the sense that you can't swing if it's empty. And the bigger problem, rather than stun locking being so powerful, is that it takes so long for the bar to fill back up. Now, I haven't done anything akin to a calculation as to if waiting for the swing to come back is faster. But I cannot imagine that it's not.